Hi, I'm Garrett Smith with Concentric. Welcome to The Resonance, episode 20. I want to pause for a moment because something closed yesterday. Not with noise, not with hype, but with alignment. What finally locked into place was the Canon, the body of rules, principles, or standards accepted as axiomatic and universally binding in a field of study or art, like the Concentric Canon on natural science and stewardship and authentic, durable prosperity. Because elegant impact only happens when the physics balance. The economics don't flinch, and the story doesn't need apology. For too long, we've lived inside frameworks full of hidden trade-offs, where carbon is treated as sin instead of mass, where energy is treated as a constraint instead of an enabler, and where nations are treated as ideologies instead of systems. When you strip that away, something remarkable happens. The picture snaps into focus. Abundance was never the problem. Misalignment was. Once carbon is understood as latent industrial wealth, once energy is allowed to do what energy always does, enable everything else, once you map energy to materials, materials to water, water to food, and food to GDP, gross domestic product, the argument disappears completely. No one has to believe anything. They just have to run the numbers. That's why this scales. That's why it generalizes. That's why leaders can say yes without losing face. Because this isn't a technology pitch. It's not a climate promise. It's not a financing trick. It's a sovereign operating upgrade. There are 193 nations in the world. And now, every single one of them can be mapped, normalized, and optimized with the same canon, not ideology. Physics and economics. What opened wasn't the world. What opened was clarity. And once clarity exists, the next step becomes obvious. This is the resonance. The moment systems stop fighting reality and start working with it. Carbon is latent wealth, and the future just heard itself.